Hey guys, and welcome back. This is a video all about Cindy's labor. It's gonna get graphic pretty fast here, so if you don't want to watch a goat giving birth, this is a great time to turn this video off. Cindy is an experienced mom, but this is her first time kidding with us. So we have been patiently waiting to see how she does. She has been a sweetheart these last few days and definitely a bit dramatic. So we have been spending lots of time together to make sure we don't miss this birth. But this time it seems like it's real. At this point, it was so hard for me to be patient, and we're all excited, but my advice to anybody who is kidding goats is that let mama do her job. It is very tempting to just assume something's going wrong or you need to help with something, but if you just wait, a lot of times mama can get it done herself, and it's a lot less stress and risk for everybody. So right here, you'll see she's pushing and getting up and down and pushing, then getting back up and back down. And you'll see her vulva bulge and then nothing. And it's really easy to think, oh my goodness, is this kid malpositioned or is something going wrong? But we gave it some time and she delivered these kids perfectly. They were all in an amazing position. We couldn't have asked for anything better. So sometimes you do really have to be patient, and it's important to know the balance of when your help is really needed and when you need to let mama just go ahead and do her job. You can see here all that hard labor mama's been going through, and all of these rough contractions are starting to pay off, and you can see some little hoofs there in this amniotic sac. Now, a good way to know if you need to help is if mama's been pushing really hard for about 15 or 20 minutes and she's made no progress. You can see here that she's made plenty of progress and she's doing great. And another thing you need to check for at this point would be to see how the kid is positioned. So I can see here that there's at least one hoof and what looks like a nose. So we are going to wait and see how this kid is presenting before we decide to do anything else. Ideally, that kid will be positioned into a diving position, so you will see two hoofs and a little nose. That is the ideal birthing position and what we always hope for. Also, yes, I know mama's bottom is purple. That is from antiseptic I had put on there the other day. I like to put these little chucks pads down just to help with some of the cleanup. You're about to see me just miss Mama's water breaking with this chucks pad, but I did my best. Also, please excuse my outfit here. I was putting the baby down for a nap and still in my pajamas when my husband had called me out that Cindy was kidding. So I just ran out to the barn. Here I am just helping get some of that thicker mucus off of baby and stimulate a little bit. We're gonna dry him off just a little bit here and give him back to Mama. It is a cold day here and it is snowing outside, but we are in the barn and we have a little draft door on there. So I wasn't too worried about him being too cold. And if possible, it is really best to let Mama do this job. It's really great for bonding and it also helps them to stimulate their kids. I do go ahead and put him on a dry chucks pad here in just a second because we had some condensation in the barn and it was a bit wet. This is about 7 or 10 minutes later. You can see Mama is just up and contracting again. So she is getting ready to have this second kid and letting these contractions do their job. And the second kid always comes way faster than the first, or almost always. So as you can see, we're presenting with 2 hoofs right here, and there's the nose and a little tongue sticking out, and 1 steamy baby for you. Like I said, it was cold this day. It was probably about 27 degrees outside, warmer than that in the barn. But here I am just cleaning off that mucus again, and then we'll get this kid up to Mama. After a minute or 2 of cleaning off that second kid, she laid back down, so we knew that third kid was on the way, and I went ahead and grabbed another chucks pad just to be ready. And then I went ahead and moved the brand new kids she decided to lay on while she had their sister. And there you go, a couple pushes to a third kid. You can see here I am just putting my hand under baby. I'm not pulling at all. I'm letting Mama's contractions and pushing get this kid out. I'm just gonna guide it on over here to the chucks pad. So this little girl was a little weaker than the first 2 and a little floppier, you can see. So she did go through the whole labor as she was the last one. So I went ahead and made sure her airways were clean, and you'll see she does need a little extra attention later on. as I was cleaning up, I looked back over and noticed that third little baby, the doeling, was having a lot of mucus in her throat and nose still, so I cleaned her airways again and handed her back to Mom. So as I am putting everybody over here into their kidding stall that I just got ready, I am weighing the babies, and holy moly, this mama had a lot of babies she was carrying around. No wonder she was so tired. But here they all are back into their kidding stall here. After I'd got them back into their stall, I realized that that little doeling still really wasn't standing or doing very well, so I gave her some jump start, which is what I'm showing you here. So after I got her warmed up, I was here checking her Suckle Reflex because I couldn't get her to nurse off Mama, and she didn't have very strong Suckle Reflex and her mouth felt a little bit cold, so I warmed her up a bit more and then got some of that jump start on my finger and got her to take it that way. A lot of times when it's a cold day, kids will not be as bouncy or as energetic and be just a smidge bit more lethargic just because they're using a lot of their energy to stay warm. So I gave her brothers a little bit of this jump start as well. I noticed all three of the kids were also having a bit of trouble standing correctly, so I went ahead and gave them some selenium paste, which is just a mineral that's found in the soil, but here in southern Wisconsin we are deficient in it, and a little bit of selenium paste oftentimes will help a kid very quickly be able to stand correctly and have their energy back. So I went ahead and gave them that, and then I did go ahead and milk Mom and give this little doeling a little bit of colostrum with a syringe, and then I continued to warm her up in my coat, and once she was nice and warm and she had a full belly, I went ahead and gave her back to Mom to see if she would be able to start standing on her own. She seems to be doing well now and is standing and able to get up and down on her own. And here is Mama with all three of them. They're doing great and thriving, and Mama is enjoying some nice warm molasses water for the night. Thank you guys for watching.